Hi, hope you are doing great. Let's continue from where we stopped. In my previous lesson, I showed you some of the errors students do make in WAEC, NECO practical chemistry exam. So this is going to be the episode 2 of that lesson. Now, we have some rules and regulations guiding volumetric analysis in NECO and WAEC, as the case may be. Now, there are things that I want you students to know while writing your practical chemistry exam. You see, writing long units in this table, in volumetric analysis, the unit of volume is cm3. That is the standard unit accepted in this. If you write your unit in centimeter square, you are going to score -1. If you write your unit in centimeter, that will be -1. So the standard unit for volumetric analysis is what? Centimeter cube, because we are dealing with what? Volume. Alright, that's one. Then the second one is consistently reading direct to 1 decimal place. For example, let's say you're off, instead of writing 26.30, you write 26.3. We are going to have deduction of 1 mark, that's -1. So even if your reading is 23.36.3, there's need for you to add 0 to it. Is that taken? So that is our rough. And don't forget that we are always starting from 0.00. That is the initial point for every titration you want to carry out. The first reading must start from 00. It is when you get to the second reading that you now be having maybe 40 something, which means that you continue from here. This will now be your starting point. Then the end point will now get to 40 something. By the time you subtract it, you still get answer close to 20 something points. Is that correct? Then another one is inconsistent burette reading. Don't forget, in my previous class, I told you that plus or minus 0.20, you have 3 marks. Plus or minus 0.30, you have 2 marks. Plus or minus 0.40, you have 1 mark. And anything above this is 0. You get it? So now here, the inconsistency comes when you start having, let's say for here now, you have 26.30. Let's say you start again, you have 0.0. Here you now have 27.40. Here, let's say you start again after running this up. You have 0.00. You now have 28.50. This is inconsistent reading. And you are going to lose what? How many marks are you going to lose? You are going to lose 1 mark for that. So those are the things they check in the table, and that is why writing practical exam is not all about just copying or doping. You must be very careful with what you do, so that at the end of the day, you don't end up having a good reading, but while completing your table, you score 0 mark in it. Is that taken? So the next thing is arithmetic error. Now, this arithmetic error is always observed when you are doing your average theta value. When you are finding your average theta value, you discover that some students, while adding, instead of adding, I think there was a time I saw one student adding it. Instead of the student writing like this one now, 26.30 plus 26.30, let's say you are taking 2 values, the student puts times here. Now, when he multiplied, he now got a very big answer. So that is arithmetic error, part of the arithmetic error we are talking about. Or you added 3 values, 26.30, you now divided by 2. You see, part of the arithmetic error they are talking about. So you are not going to lose how many marks? 1 mark. So let's assume after adding it up here, you didn't get it, that's 1 mark. And the answer again, you know, it does not seem correct, that's another -1. So you have lose 2 marks. You see, Then the next thing is putting down theta value without showing how they have been arrived at. So the examiner will deduct 2 marks, 1 mark for each. You understand? So what that means is that, for example, now you see here on the table, I have 26.3, which is not even correct reading. You understand? The correct reading should be if this is my rough, let's say the next one I do, I can get 26.10. 26.10. Then perhaps I still have the same thing. 26.10, 26.10. It is correct. You understand? So now I want to take. Now what they mean by this, putting down theta value without showing how they are being arrived. Now I now come to my average theta value. I now write something like this. Average theta value. Instead of me to write this, I now come and write 27.20 plus 26.40 divided by 2. Perhaps maybe when I look at other groups, you understand, you know, in practical lab, in the lab, we have sometimes we have like 2 groups, and perhaps during their practical they will have different readings. So you now maybe you don't want to copy your group endpoint, you want to copy the other group. You understand? Meanwhile, you have already used the values in your group to complete the table. During your arithmetic or calculation, finding the average data value, you will not mistakenly choose their own value. Here, you are going to lose how many marks? 1 mark for each. This one will be -1, -1. That is 2 marks you are going to lose. And look at all this deduction, from this to that, from this to that. By the time you put all together, at the end of the day, you will not score any mark. And that is why it is very important for you to note all these errors while carrying out chemistry practical. Join me in the next episode when I will be exploring more about the errors that students do make in carrying out or reporting or computing table as regards to volumetric analysis in WAEC and NECO. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.